Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we are going to have a look on the little air layers that we made in spring and see how it went. So for a start, these are the Carpinus air layers, and while I was cutting them off, I had the feeling that some of them were dry, very dry, and some of them were wet, and well, of course it might become a big difference. So this one's just a branch with no roots, but this one looks okay. So you see here I scrubbed the bark away, and this is of course a part you will not need anymore. So that's one that did fine. Again, two little branches. This one does not look really healthy, but this area is much wetter. Oh, so this is an accumulation of a big sugar mass, and there is not a lot of rooting, but there's a little root, and probably by cutting a piece away of the sugar mass, here the roots will emerge now. So that's okay. Two little ones, and there's not much hope for this. No. This still is looking good, and again lots of sugar buildup, so this is potentially good. Yeah, this one has roots, but is a little dry, but needs to get a decent substrate now. This is very wet. So here is a root, so this one's going to be okay. No roots. See the wound I made just healed over. It's probably came loose, so I use a little rope. And it was worth it, yeah. A nice amount of roots. So this is again one that I made with moss instead of cocoa peats. So what happened here? Yes, this one has roots, so that's fine. And there are roots here. That's quite a thick one. Well, not a whole lot of roots, but probably enough to survive. Here. Now this one has roots, so little root here. This is rooted. Yep. I don't think that I got roots here. This one in cocoa peats. Yes, this is a whole lot of roots. This is fairly wet. And full of roots, so that's cool. Quite wet too, but no. Oh yeah, one nice root here. So let's keep that and. It's like Christmas when you're opening your presents. I'm not too sure about this one. There's one root here. Well, I'll give it a try. And this is the last Carpinus, and it's obvious that we have roots. It were a few trees in the same package, but only one produced a fair amount of roots. So that's the one. So let's I'm going to clean this up and come back in just a second. I'm going to add a little bins with a little sand and compost. It's reused soil, and I'll mix it with the remaining cocoa peats like that. It will give a mixture that holds quite a lot of moisture, because there's not too much roots on these new plants. So these are the mountain maples. Yeah, there's roots here, so that's nice, because unlike the Carpinus trees, these are a little more difficult to get here. Well, I don't know, but it's still alive. I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe it will root as a cutting, but okay, I still have two, so I'm gonna plant them anyway. A little soil mix. And we'll see. Now the reason why I'm doing this in this season is because all the energy that is now still in the plants will store in the roots, and instead of going to the roots of the mother plant, it'll go to the new roots, which will help the young plants to grow in spring. Now there's too much foliage on this one, so won't work if you leave too much of the foliage. And if you feel lucky, well, just put the rest of the plant you just cut off in the pot. You never know. If it roots, it roots. If it doesn't, well, it wasn't a whole lot of work. Okay, for the field maples now. Most of the time they do really well. And yeah, they did. So this big stump here can be removed. And this is a nice little plant. And oh, came loose. Yeah, roots. So in the pot. And finally I have two Japanese maples. I'm not too sure about what's going on here. Oh yes, very nice. This little one, a stump, was left over from a cut I made in a bigger plant. This one did really well. Already nice radial roots. So this part can be cut off, no doubt. And this part too, of course. And let's get them in little pots. So this is the end of today's work. It's quite a lot of new plants. There are Carpinus and field maple, Japanese maple and trident maple, and there are a few cuttings of them too, and the cuttings of other plants like this one, which is the privet. And of course this has nothing to do with bonsai. It is too small, too young material to do something with. But as you might remember, I like to do some experiments with fusion bonsai. And 1 second. These plants are going to be included in the next video I do about this big fusion project, which is starting to look quite okay if you see it from afar, but if you look closer there's still a lot of work to be done. And to do that work, well, I'm going to need a lot of new little and small plants. So, well, I'm glad I have them now, and we'll see what how it turns out. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, and see you next time.